All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. we've got we've got some more interesting videos to review this evening. All right, while I cue those up, why don't you all introduce yourselves and say howdy.
I'm cyanide. I'm a bad mamma jamma.
I'll just go by
M, yeah, howdy M.
Hello.
Mm.
Yes, M007. Blowing up shit.
Alrighty, we got some intriguing videos.
Hi, my name is Perry, and I would make this up.
Howdy Perry. We're going to start with a most enjoyable Glenn Hall video, and he's going to tell us why it's just painfully obvious why the world is flat. So,
Always.
thank the Flying Spaghetti Monster for that.
Ramen.
Indeed, and I'm sure everybody knows the the protocol. If you say anything,
Hold on, I got to call her.
all right. If he says anything that's just incredibly stupid and requires a response, protocol dictates you yell drink. Say who you are, so that anybody watching can know whose opinion it is, and then say what you got to say. And then anybody else that wants to chime in, they can do so as well. That's just reviewing the protocol. Oh, and if it's not a drink moment, if you just have something to add, you can always yell halt. But save yelling drink for when the stupidity gets unbearable in the video. So,
Roger.
that being the case, let's see what Glenn has to tell us with regard to the flat Earth and why it's painfully obvious to anybody with a brain. Here we go.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
I call this video the simplest, irrefutable flat earth proof. Now I know there's going to be some people who will watch this who know me personally, and people who know me personally know that I am not a fool. I have a degree in math and I have a Juris Doctorate, and I have been practicing law for almost 30 years.
Okay, and let's
What
see.
kind of math, what kind of law?
Yeah, let's see how any of that applies to what he's actually going to talk about. This may be a reflexive argument to authority. Let's see.
Some of these people who will watch this know that I have won some incredibly difficult jury trials. The jury trial is not a simple thing. Many attorneys avoid them at all costs because they are so difficult and so stressful. And I
Except for
have
trial
won some
lawyers.
cases that people would think that you could never win. But I won't get into the details of those. I just
Okay.
want people to realize that I'm not a fool.
So he says.
When I first heard about the flat Earth a year ago, or a little more, I totally ignored it because I thought, come on, that's foolish.
True.
And that's natural, that's normal. Because we've all been brainwashed by scientism,
Scientism.
by those
What's the scientism?
priests
What?
of a new religion
What?
who believe in science, who believe that science, when you understand science, it dispels all notions of a God who rules in the affairs of men and who created the earth. Well, I would tell you,
Total nonsense.
before I met,
You see what's going on here. It's just, once again,
Yeah,
someone is describing science as if it's an object, as if it's a book. There's one book with in big words on the cover it says science, and what it says in that book is somehow dogma. Just from the way he described it so far, scientism and what he has said, he does not understand that science is not a set of facts. If you stop there,
Yet he's no fool.
Yeah, if he's well, pretty much debunked himself there. If you stop at saying science is a bunch of facts, you're wrong. If you say science is a bunch of facts that are addressed, updated, or discarded based on new information, then you'd be correct. But the way he's talking so far, it's the science, science, noun, book of facts. No.
That being said, I would read Science Now with the facts. Sounds good.
Roboting.
Beep, beep, boop.
if you have a Wi-Fi hotspot,
You're good for a word or two.
yeah. If you have a hotspot, I'd stand right next to it or something. But we'll see how it goes. All right, let's move on. He's done singing his own praises. That trial lawyer and therefore knows all about scientism. Maybe he'll get
Anybody
into.
notice Canada's pink?
Okay. I think he colored them in. I think he doesn't like Canadians. All
When
right.
was this map made? Look at how many countries are in America right there. That's ridiculous.
Right. Moving on. Here we go.
The Lord, the true God
Oh,
of the
sure.
universe.
Okay.
Over 40 years ago, when I was a math major in college, I turned totally away from faith, and I did believe that math was God. I did. Because math seems to explain everything. But we have been deceived. And now I want to show you the simplest, irrefutable flat earth proof. Oh, by
Okay.
the way, I do want to recommend Robbie Davidson's new video on scientism. I will put a link to that in the information box below. I encourage you to watch that. It's very well done, and it really explains a lot.
Oh, we will.
The information
So
box.
let's look at the first flat earth proof.
Oh no.
You see the globe? Now consider an airplane.
Oh God.
Okay, this airplane is going to fly always at a level altitude with respect to the Earth.
Okay, halt. Okay, I just want to remind everyone, this is the individual who indicated that he was not a fool. Just wanted to remind everyone of that.
Also, real scale model.
Indeed.
And any of you who have studied the flat Earth ideas know that there is an equation that describes how much curvature is in the Earth from given distances, and that is defined as 8 inches times the number of miles squared. So that
Drink. No, it isn't.
God damn it.
It ignores observer height, and we've said this in just about every other video that they brought up the 8 inches per mile thing. Ignores observer height, and it's only accurate for short distances anyway. So, hey, and why am I the only one calling drink? You guys are smarter than me. All right, moving on.
Hold on, I'll get real close to the microphone for this one to describe how smart
if
the
you
sack
go
is going
through
to be.
that calculation, you can figure out how far below the horizon something should be from a particular distance. And the idea also is that as a plane would traverse the globe, it would have to be always adjusting its nose a little bit down in order to
I just
continue
ingested
at a
diabetes.
level.
Okay, drink.
Drink.
I'm sorry, I beat you to it, but then we'll go to you. The nose down. This has always bugged me about the airplane needs to point its nose down because it and this is the flat Earth, not flat Earth. Who the hell cares? To ascend or descend in an airplane, it's not strictly dependent on where the nose is pointing anyway. Example, landing. When you you got to point the nose where you want to go was accurate, planes would never land because they always flare just before the wheels. Well, not just before the wheels touch, to cut more speed, which means their nose is pointed up. So the nose has to point up, down garbage. Not only do they have no idea what the Earth is, they also have no idea how things stay in the air. Okay, that's my rant. Who else yelled drink? Perry, was that you? Or sign?
Don't make me drink
that
two shots of
was-
this.
No, but I debunked myself. He just gave himself diabetes, and I was going to say maple syrup doesn't give you diabetes, but I think that's probably false.
Okay.
It's called a joke.
All right.
So is that.
Let's see what this scale model. Let's see how this scale model behaves on the fictional oblate spheroid Earth.
Altitude. Now, if you consider this plane going to the east here. Just going to the east, you see that the plane always seems to be level with respect to the Earth, and then, it keeps itself
That plane is at a 90
at a
degree angle.
level altitude.
Yeah. Drink, except for sideways.
Then it would just simply land at
Oh,
a country on
there
the
we
other
go.
side of the
Oh,
globe.
never mind.
Okay, that's easy to see
Yeah.
when you're
Oh,
going
yeah.
east and west. But what about when you're going from north to south? And this is the proof.
Oh my.
You can't deny it.
Yes, what happened? We can't tonight. You all heard
Can't
that.
spin the globe
So
that
you
way,
start
therefore.
your journey at the Arctic, as far to the north as you can, and you begin to go south. Now notice, as I'm going south, I have to continue dipping the nose of my airplane in order to stay level with the ground.
Why is nobody yelling drink? What's-
God damn it, that's not how
dumb.
airplanes work.
Exactly.
So dumb.
Thank you.
We're not going to get through 2 minutes of this guy if we keep calling drink. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going
Well,
to waste an $18 maple syrup bottle.
all right. Then plus we've said it before. It's forget the thrust and drag, and we'll just address the lift versus gravity. The amount of lift you have remains constant based on your speed, angle of attack, and all of that. If the amount of lift you have remains constant, and gravity is fairly constant, it's not that different at the poles versus the equator, you remain at the same elevation. In other words, level. Moving on.
You
I'm
lost
gonna
me at
continue
thrust
all
and
the
drag,
way
baby. Yeah.
Someone just sent him a
to
link to like a
Antarctica.
Scott
Now notice
Manley
I'm
video or
continuing
something.
to dip my nose down to stay level with the Earth.
Here it comes.
Now I'm going down into South America,
Uh,
continuing to dip down, and finally I get down here to Antarctica. And look at
and
that.
our conclusion is,
My airplane is upside down.
oh my.
Well, you're going to say, well, we know that people that are in the southern hemisphere are still standing right side up.
Oh no. This
Every-
is... Can I call a drink on that one? Because
Absolutely.
he hasn't been to Australia, has he?
I don't think so. I don't think
What they
he's
got
left,
wedge on this one?
he may not have left that room. He seems to have everything he needs there. He's got his guitar, his fictional sphere. Why does he even have a globe if he doesn't believe it? He's got his upside down airplane. And as he said earlier, he's got his God. So I think he's good. No, I don't think he's ever been to Australia.
Everybody stands right side up on the Earth. We know that. But yet you just flew down here. You're upside down.
Blatant misunderstanding of what up and down actually is on our planet.
You cannot refute that. Your airplane is upside down and your head is facing down. It has to.
Okay, anybody that
Yeah,
wanted to
you can't
refute that,
Easy.
no, hold on a second now. I know you're getting ready to refute that, but keep in mind, he just said we're not allowed to refute that. He said we can't.
Well, gosh darn.
He's
I can't escape this web of logic.
indeed, and that is the perfect way to make an argument. If you make your argument and indicate that people are not permitted to refute it, there you go. But I vote we ignore that particular prohibition, and if anybody wants to refute the foolishness, I vote you just enjoy yourself. I'm not.
I recommend gravity. Let's go into that one first. Not how that works. And not everything gets pulled to the supposed bottom of the universe. It gets pulled to larger masses around it. God, you can't argue with stupidity, can you?
It's extremely difficult because they insist on a fixed direction that they're referring to as down. Everything goes down, and ostensibly due to buoyancy and density. Just those. But no indication of anything that would apply a force, just buoyancy and density. That's all. So there is apparently, according to them, a universal down, and nothing that causes you to move towards that direction down, but you do, and that seems to be the entire argument. So there's the universal down that that apparently we're drawn to with no force applied. Not sure how that would work.
Be true, because you have had to adjust your nose by a full 180 degrees so that now you are absolutely upside down.
No,
Right.
no, that's not how it works.
What makes you think somebody's been adjusting their nose with maybe a soda straw and a little white powder a little too much?
You can't deny that proof. That's the simplest, irrefutable flat Earth proof. There are many, many, many proofs that we do live on a flat Earth. I urge you to begin to study it. Don't mock.
Oh, heck.
I'm not a fool.
Hold on. I know why he doesn't want anybody to go to the South Pole and be upside down. Because he's Santa. He's secretly Santa. He doesn't want to be down.
Okay. All right, I'm with you there.
Don't tell me that's not a thing. I can't. No.
Well, see, somebody should have told me that before I selected him for tonight's movie night, because if we offend Santa, we're screwed.
Yeah, elves are very good at video editing.
Oh my, and if they have a long memory, we're not getting anything next year. All right. Look, we're at this video is 6:02 and we're at 6:01. Is he going to say anything or just fade away? Nope, that's it. He's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodbye, Santa.
That was our.
No, not me.
That was our first video for the evening, and everybody here, and I'm sure everybody watching in the stream was not deceived by his arguments.
Irrefutable proof, everyone. Irrefutable.
We've been doing this for about half an hour.
Whatever.
A quarter of the way through a bottle of maple syrup. This is not good.
Well, we've had worse. Just be thankful there's no Dubé on the show tonight, because that was, anybody remembers that, it was rather frightening. It started 6 seconds in, and then there were intervals of anywhere from 3 to 7 seconds where somebody was morally obligated to yell drink through the entire thing. It was I don't remember how long. It was on the order of minutes, like somewhere between 10 and 12 minutes, and it took us 2 hours to get through the whole thing. All right, well, the good news is, see, you may have been, at the end of this 6-minute video, you may have felt a little bit like, is that all? Glenn, are you leaving us at this point? I'm sure all of you are going to be just thrilled to know that he actually picked it up in a part 2.
No.
Indeed. So don't feel like he just abandoned you. I don't want you to think that.
So cold. I felt so alone.
I don't abandon me. This is not good.
All right, here comes the simplest irrefutable flat Earth proof, part 2, from our buddy Santa Glenn.
Hello again, everybody.
Hello.
I want to do a second part of the simplest irrefutable flat Earth proof for this reason. Some of you just don't seem to be seeing it. You think that when the man arrives at Antarctica, he just gets out with his feet planted directly on the ground and he's fine, just like we are taught to believe.
Okay.
But you're not seeing this. Watch.
The Lego Man, or is
Here's
that
a guy
Playmobil?
who is the pilot of this airplane. And when he gets in the airplane, he sits down and his head
Not how you
is
fly
up
airplanes.
just like that.
No, and further,
From the outside.
he's a wing walker. Don't you remember the great flying days of yore and air shows?
That's a man right there flying an airplane from the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, working his stick with his toes and shit. That's badass.
Yeah, and let's look at Santa Glenn here, and we'll just say apparent age, and not to try and judge someone's age. I think we can say adult, right? He's an adult. What's he doing with a little doll? Not a
He's
drink.
Santa. He makes toys.
Oh, how could I miss that? How could I miss that association? You are quite correct. I yield to your wisdom. All right, let's see what the Playmobil man on the outside of the airplane does.
Okay? Now, as that airplane goes to Antarctica, I showed you how he would have to continue dipping his nose 180 degrees finally to when he arrives at Antarctica. He is like this. Look at that. His head is facing down
There's your
with
proof.
respect to his original position. It makes no difference
Now
that
that's true.
you think he's going to
Yeah.
get out and plant
That's-
his feet.
Hmm.
Hey, wait. Hold on, drink.
Okay.
He forgot to mention the edge.
Okay.
He's
good
missing
point.
the edge. I'm
Well,
sorry.
he's talking about the silly bouncy ballers. So
Yeah.
There's
maybe
no
that's-
edge.
Well, that's
If it would have to be flat, there would have to be like implying that there was an edge.
yeah. Actually,
Where's the edge in those?
well, some of the flat you can't tell anymore because they're not a very homogeneous group. Some of the flat earthers are actually saying, "Why do you always ask where's the edge? There is no edge. It's an infinite plane," and they always spell plane. They should be spelling it plane as in an infinite flat surface, but they always spell it PLAIN like a big field of wheat. So yeah, they can't even agree on whether there's an edge or there's not an edge, and nobody has any idea what's under it except that there's the deep and there's pillars. And if you ask what the pillars are on, then that's just demanding too much. All right,
Satan's down there. That's all you need to know.
that's it.
I would play Flatty's advocate here and say that an infinite plane of snow is off. It should be spelled PLAIN because it's awfully plain.
Yes, that is
Infinite
true.
snow, come on.
That is true. It could be defined as such.
So call
I
I'm
shall
calling
also-
drink on you.
Okay,
Oh boy.
I yield.
All right.
I
no
would
arguments
also
here.
like to state that he said that he's facing downward in respect to his original position, which is true, but gravity is still pulling him towards the center of the large mass that he's currently flying around, which would pull him back up relative to his old position.
Yeah. Again, he's just insisting that there's some universal down, and he's right with respect to his original position. Sure, but with respect to the center of gravity of the Earth, he's standing just like he should be, and he still has his own little down that is local to his position. So, yeah. All right.
At the bottom of the world and still stand upright there. That's not my point. My
Okay.
point is
Make your point.
he began like this.
Uh-huh.
He flew to the bottom of the earth, and
Which-
while he did that, he had to turn his airplane to stay with the contour of the earth,
No, he didn't.
and he himself is upside down. He
Okay.
Actually true.
Sure, with respect to his original position, he is upside down. If he could see himself
Yeah,
from
it
the
would-
starting position,
it would-
absolutely.
Or if
You
there was
think
an
that the
outside
gravity
observer,
is-
say
Oh, yeah.
some distance away from the planet or something, and looking and watching this guy, from a perpendicular viewpoint, kind of, outside of the Earth system. That's what the plane would be doing. It's very true.
Yes.
But he failed to mention.
Indeed. All right. Well, that was the conclusion. Oh no! Wait. He's got
He
6
failed to
seconds
mention
left.
actually what anybody would be seeing, or where any kind of observer is. Is he referring to, I don't know, the pilot himself? Is he referring to him and that expensive ass microphone?
He.
Is he referring to
Yeah.
someone's south of the equator? What are you even talking about? He
Yeah.
didn't mention any of this.
Yeah. I believe what he's asserting is from the pilot's point of view, from the pilot's
It
perspective.
doesn't take much.
He'd end up mashed to the top of the cockpit. I think that's what he's trying to say. Disturbingly enough. All right, let's let him do his last 6 seconds here. Maybe he'll have another word or two.
has flipped totally 180 degrees. That's the point.
That was the point. All right. Well, his point was correct. Yes, he is oriented differently with respect to an outside, non-moving observer. I don't see why he did a part 2. This was just repetition of a smaller section of foolishness from part 1. Disturbing. Alright.
Yeah, pretty disturbing.
Yeah. Alright, same guy. Let's see, we did that one. Same guy. Here is another one. Another simple, irrefutable flat Earth proof. Okay, so in theory, this one is going to be different. He'll make different assertions from the first one. Let's see what we got.
This is another simple and irrefutable flat Earth proof. It's simple and irrefutable because it proves that the global model that we have been taught is a lie. It's not real, as this simple experiment will show. But something else that this experiment does is to show you that the whole idea of the tilted Earth changing our seasons, changing the times of our day, changing how hot it is, how cold it is, the whole idea that the tilt of the Earth does that, you will see now, is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous.
Okay.
Now I'm just going to show you a few simple videos I did. That's a simple experiment that you can do. And I think it proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that we do not live on a globe Earth. So
This guy's got a funny idea of what prove actually means.
let's get into this little experiment that I did.
A grain of sand is said to be 0.2 millimeters in diameter. Here
What the
you're
hell does
looking at a
sand have to do
ruler
with this?
with millimeters there at the top. And that's a poppy seed. And you'll
Okay.
see that it is just about 1 millimeter in diameter, which is about 5 times bigger than a grain of sand. And my calculation of
Wait, he's already stated he's a heavily religious fella. Shouldn't he have used a mustard seed? Isn't that their big thing? No. All right, let's see what he's up to with the poppy seed.
the Earth, the size of the Earth, from a distance of 6 feet from the Sun, would actually be only about 0.15 millimeters. So this poppy seed is about 5 times or
Hold on.
6
I left
times.
like 5 minutes and now we're measuring the length of the poppy seed? What the?
Yes, yes. Sorry, it's I can't control what
Wow.
I can't control what these guys do. And he said something about the sun being 6 feet from the Earth. I guess he's saying that the Earth in scale would be smaller than this poppy seed, which means I guess if you have a bunch of Earths on a bagel, you can't pass the drug test the following day. Something like that. But anyway, I'm sure
Why
he'll.
can't he just be a nice old man who sells crayons?
Why can't he just be like Santa?
Non-existent? Oh, jeez. I hope I didn't spoil anybody's. Ooh, I didn't say that.
What are you saying there, buddy?
Nothing. I meant flat Earth is non-existent. Don't worry. All is good. And don't make me do the Rudolph song. Okay, here we go. Poppy seed. Sun is 6 feet away. That's twice as big as the Earth would be. That's his point so far.
The size of what the Earth would actually be if this experiment model were to scale.
Now that's an
What?
important thing to remember,
What?
because since the actual Earth would be 1/6 the size of this poppy seed, it means that the illumination that you're going to see upon this model Earth would be even greater than what you see in this video.
Okay.
I also want to show you that the sun, if it was 6 feet away from the Earth, would be 0.67 inches in diameter. And this particular flashlight, the lens that you see there, is just about exactly the right size. So this experiment, although simple, I think will prove a very interesting point.
Proof.
Okay, I am in the dark room.
Okay, you guys are ready, right?
No dark rooms for you. That's
Hey,
scary.
Hang on, halt. Sai,
Yeah.
one, I'd just like to ask you to let me know what videos are going on, because this guy says he's a mathematician. I'm not. And I could probably debunk his math on this. I mean, one, Serious. He didn't take in the relative size of the sun. Is that flashlight to scale?
Oh, actually, he did include that. It was buried in some stupid, so I'm not surprised that you may have missed it. He was saying that
I missed that whole block as he was saying before, but like, so he did say that, and happened to find a flashlight that was perfectly to scale with the sun and his little dumbass model here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said, and it sort of works out at a 6-foot separation. The ratio between the aperture on that flashlight, we'll just say the lens side, the glass size, and that poppy seed, he's saying, are essentially correct. And I'm willing to give him that, because I don't think that's where the stupid is going to come in. I suspect it's going to be even more basic. But all right, I'll try and give you a little lead time with ones that are not. There's one I'm holding back because it's a surprise that I'm not announcing, and it will be most shocking. But for just a run,
okay, I can't wait for it.
For the run-of-the-mill ones like this, I'll just leave them alone. All right, here we go.
At my office, and the sun is behind me.
Okay.
And it is 6 feet away from the Earth. And then I'm going to try to zoom in on the Earth now.
The Earth is stuck to the wall with honey.
What?
Okay, wait.
Earth is coming.
Oh, somebody has a comment on that. There's the Earth stuck to the wall with what he says is honey over there, which I have no reason to doubt him.
One, he's not using maple syrup to stick that. Two,
Okay.
I didn't study math.
I was gonna say that,
but I'm not sure that's a valid scientific.
I'm not sure, because remember, this is a math major and a lawyer, which automatically qualifies him to say that sticking a poppy seed to the wall with honey is a perfect representation of the Earth. I don't feel qualified to. Okay, I can't even keep saying that. All right.
Okay, he's totally batshit insane, right? Like, we can agree on this.
I'm guessing. I mean, he has to be. He stuck a seed to his wall. He smeared honey on his wall and stuck a seed to it. Yeah, he's nuts.
He's in an office. Does he not have glue or scotch tape? Or
maybe he uses those. Maybe he uses those to make stick those little dolls he showed in the last video to airplanes. I don't know. Maybe he used it all up, or maybe he discovered that if you inhale the glue, you end up talking like he's talking now. That might be it. He might have run out of glue. Right. Okay, so back up to speed. The Earth is stuck to the wall with honey, which is a perfect representation of the Earth, and as a flashlight 6 feet away, that represents the sun. Okay, cool. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Coming into focus.
Okay, that's out of focus.
Notice how illuminated everything is.
Okay, yeah, you're shining a flashlight on
And
it.
think of the Earth and what they tell us about the Earth, that the Earth tilts, and therefore the amount of sun that reaches different parts varies according to the tilt.
honey is not a valid
If I were to
representation of Earth's atmosphere.
Stop.
We
It's not four-dimensional.
No, we have
The model's wrong.
we have halted, and he's good. You see where he's going, right? He said that it illuminates everything. Well, you know what? Let's let him finish his argument, and then we'll dig into it, because the stupid is just painful. I mean, worse than other flat earthers we've dealt with, because with the simplicity of it, what he's saying, he should be able to see the obvious holes, even if he was a staunch flat earth believer. The model he is using, he should be able to see the holes in what he's saying. So let's let him go for a little bit here.
Tilt that a little bit. I don't think that would affect the sunlight shining on it at all, do you?
Okay.
I'm going to back up
no
here.
idea. What the hell does that even show?
What he said so far is his point. He's going to babble on for another minute about it, but he's saying he's shining the flashlight on the poppy seed, and look, it looks like it's lighting up the whole thing, doesn't it? There's light just everywhere. Therefore, the tilt can't be causing seasons and day, night, and different temperatures and all that. Because look, it lights up the whole thing. Just there,
Maroon.
yeah, just there, he should say to himself, "What about the backside? It's not lighting up the backside now, is it?" That should be going on in his little Santa head, his little Santa Glen.
Well,
his Glen head.
It's stuck in
should be-
honey, just like the Earth.
Yeah, he should be. He should be thinking, all right, even though it's small, the back side of that is not being directly hit by light from the flashlight / sun. Therefore, it is dark. And then the next logical step should be, and if it were rotating and it were on an axis that were tilted, that would change. Okay, I'm preaching to the choir here, aren't I? But I was just trying to clear up his point, which he should, just from what he said, he should be able to make the next step and go, ooh, hold on, the backside's dark. But he didn't. And the Earth is stuck in honey for some reason. Okay.
I glued a poppy seed to the wall of honey, therefore my point is valid.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying, pretty much. All right, here we go.
And I'm going to change the sunlight. The sunlight is shining from just 6 feet away from that, but that is in scale to this experiment. Now I'm going to focus the light. And here's the light more focused.
Okay.
Do you see any part of that Earth that would be out of the light except for
The back, say it, say it. The back.
Do it.
Say it, say it. Come on.
what is attached to my wall right now?
See, the back.
In other words, if that little dot of an Earth moved, tilted a little bit, that would not affect the sunlight striking it.
How could he
At
miss?
all.
How could he miss?
There you have it. Very
that-
simple proof that we do not live on a globe Earth.
I'm
Thanks
convinced.
for watching.
I'm convinced. So, does anybody doubt the logic of that? He even said, except for the part that is stuck to the wall. In other words, the back side. So he does understand that at most, well, no, that's not true, because the light does bend over the, the actual horizon. We'll just say a little over half of the Earth gets lighting from the sun. So he does know that the side that's not facing it is dark. And he can't make that one infinitely small step to understanding that if you tilt it, things are going to change. It's all lit up all the time. That was disturbing. Yeah, forget the drinks. Everybody down what you got, just in response to that.
I
Roger
will
that.
mark down 16 ounces of maple syrup.
No.
Tough
No.
shit. You brought it to the table. You got to drink it.
Hold on, this is 24 fluid ounces.
Hey, maple syrup, wait a minute. If you throw some, water it down a bit, throw some yeast in it, and set it aside for about a week. Let's see what I wonder if anyone's ever made maple syrup beer.
Mead.
I am
That's what.
sure
That's
it's
what
happening.
That's what chemtrails come from.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we don't want to contribute to that. Chemtrails.
But I think I have the time, because it's going to take us about a week to get through a 10-minute video.
Welcome to the club.
All right. Now, let's see. Where's the one that... I hope I have this. Where the hell's the surprise one I had? Damn it. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is... Yeah, I'll announce it now. This is from our good friend Jeranism. It's a segment taken out of one of his longer 2-hour live things. And I think you will find it very surprising. So, That being said, here's Jeranism.
The North Star proves the Earth is a sphere.
How
You
does
see, a lot of flat earthers seem to have no knowledge about the North Star. They don't understand that it's way, way further away than all the other stars. That's why it appears to never move in the sky, because it's so distant.
Okay, that's not Jeranism talking. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows that.
Yeah, duh.
That's not him. Let's listen to him coming up.
That's what we're
dude,
told.
You're so off. I hope you know how bad you're completely wrong about that.
There he is.
What do you
How?
mean?
How am I completely wrong about that?
Because
That's mathematics.
What do you mean it's mathematics? So the other stars that do circles in the skies has something to do with their distance from the Earth?
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
Well,
Dude,
I don't understand why that's funny. The North Star is supposed to be way further away than all those other stars.
The star is between 400 and 500 light years away. That it's not far at all compared to every other star. The stars are all such equal distances away from the Earth. Not equal. I'm saying they are all so incredibly far that they all act identical. That's why we see star circles, because even though one might be 100 light years and the other one might be 4,000 light years, even though that's a couple 100 trillion miles difference, they do the exact same thing. The reason the North Star stays where it is because it's directly aligned with the axis of the Earth.
Okay, I'm hoping everyone was seated. Did you hear Jeranism? What he just said in that entire paragraph, he understands. He does. Now this means what? So, and there's more of this. You'll see, but this indicates he understands. He mentioned that although there are differences to the distances to various stars, they're also far away that they don't appear to be in motion. And he indicated that the North Star doesn't appear to move, which it does a little. Doesn't appear to move because he says it's directly over the axis points to it. Now, this means that Jeranism at least understands the parts of the spherical Earth model. Now we're left with two possibilities. Either he understands what is being said about the spherical Earth model and just rejects it and is sincere in everything he says, or he knows what reality is and it's all just a show. So those are the two possibilities. But the shocking part about this video is Jeranism says stuff, and I this one I previewed. I cheated because I wanted to see what it was all about. Normally we watch them all cold. Through this one, everything he says is pretty much, if not 100% accurate, pretty damn close. That's why I recommended you all be sitting down when we played this, because I know none of you were expecting that. So, let's let him continue.
That's the reason why it stays where it is. Has nothing to do with its distance. It's not even
According to the model, anyways.
yeah, according to the model. And this is why I hate explaining the globe.
Look,
Because
so I just have to say something. The average star, in terms of science, this is scientific understanding, the average star is 4.3 light years from the Earth.
What?
This is the scientific knowledge. I'm just saying this is what's out there, and everyone can verify this.
Star.
The average star is 4.3 light years away. The North Star is said to be 433.8 light years away. That's over 100 times further away. So, Jeranism, and this is what I mean with the Flat Earth community, because all night you've been saying I'm not researched. Look, I'm very well researched in a way because I studied this stuff in school. I was always top of my class, Jeranism.
Did I hear a call for a halt there? Did somebody...
Yeah, maybe you read my mind, because who the fuck is this guy?
It's Zachary Hubbard. I haven't looked into him, but apparently they were talking. And this short video. Remember, this is an outtake, and I don't know how it was made. I don't know if it was clipped and remixed, or I don't know what. I really can't authenticate that this was a contiguous video, but it may have been. I don't know anything about it.
Since we're on the subject, why is it that these flat earthers always pick somebody to debate with that has no fucking idea what the hell they're talking about? They pick ballers out of the blue, and they're not actual ballers. There's nobody who has been in the actual flat earth debate for any amount of time. I've challenged I don't know how many dozens of flat earthers to a debate, one-on-one. And they all disappear. they won't do it because they know that I, that I know what the hell I'm talking about, and they will get nowhere with me. So, I mean, Jeranism does it. The Flat Earth asshole does it. They all do it. They all do these one-sided debates with people who don't know their argumentation, right? They don't know the kinds of things that they're going to say, and so they have no preparation in coming back at them, right?
Indeed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is a good point to make. The main thing that I thought would be shocking about this video is the fact that Jeranism is saying things that are accurate. That in itself should have been. I didn't even pay attention to. I didn't even think about that aspect. Yes, they do tend to go for what we'll call the low-hanging fruit.
This guy has no idea what he's talking about. The average star is 4.3 light years away. Come on.
Yeah, I know of one.
No real baller. Well, 3, but
I see where it's an advantage to go for the low-hanging fruit.
They always go for these guys who don't know what the hell they're talking about, who probably just heard about this, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll debate you." It's bullshit, and it's a total cowardly maneuver.
You have to give credit. They know how to fight a gorilla war.
Didn't catch that. You roboted on us.
Megatron says they know how to fight a guerrilla war.
There you go.
Okay. Excellent. Relay. That was an excellent relay. Thank you. All right. Let's listen to some more Jeranism being accurate. And then after, we'll try and... We'll just have a little discussion to see if we think he's honest or not. Anyway, moving on.
I'm trying to
look.
Wrong.
The North Star is 100 times further away than the average star, so you can't just say it's just like all the other ones. It's not true.
What you're saying is completely false, Zach. The closest star to us is 4 light years away. The closest star. Okay, so when you say the average star is a couple thousand light years, could be 1 million light years. What stars are you considering when you're taking an average? You're talking about all the stars?
And what's this Jeranism talking logically? Okay, you call drink. Go ahead.
Yes, since nobody's been calling drinks. The average star that we see is not thousands of light years away. Okay. They're not definitely not millions of light years away. We can't discern with our own eyes any star that's many millions of light years away. You can see with your own eyes the Andromeda galaxy is 2.5 million light years away. And with the naked eye in optimum viewing conditions, it's just going to look like a big old blurb in the sky, kind of a nebulous kind of thing up there. So there's no millions of light years away, the average star that we're seeing. Most of them are within a few hundreds to, upwards of, maybe less than 10,000 light years?
All good points, but Jeranism's saying that
yeah, that guy is full of shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But Jeranism just totally blew it out of proportion, and therefore, the drink is validated.
Oh, absolutely. I was not going to speak against the drink at all. I'm just sitting here in awe of Jeranism speaking what's a hell of a lot closer to truth than anything we've heard out of his mouth so far.
And that is amazing.
Honestly, I don't know whether this is for the purposes of deception or whether we should send him a nice fruit basket. I'm not sure. We'll cover that after, I guess. All right.
That doesn't make any sense. Some stars are billions of light years
further away.
Yes.
Yeah, some stars are billions of light years away. What do you mean?
The North Star is special. It's a lot more distant than the majority of stars in the sky. Anyone can look this up. Look, if you're in the flat Earth and you're into this debate right now, look it up after Jeranism and I are done talking.
The furthest star is known, according to the model, is 13.3 billion light years away. So that's...
All right, so take an average. The average isn't going to come out to 4.
The North Star you said is how many, babe? How many million?
It's between 400 and 500.
But millions. So
No. The North Star is 400 or 500 light years away.
Okay, so that's...
But that's not an average. It's a very...
The North Star is also, I forget what they call it in space. It's in a special spot, too, supposedly right above the North Pole. But the fact that it is so distant is the reason it appears to never move in the sky. And the point is I hear a lot of flat Earth channels saying that the North Star never moves, and that is proof that we're stationary. But if you look at the mathematics of how far away it is, it's explained why it is what it is. And there's a reason sailors have used it for 1,000 years and probably longer than that to sail the oceans.
You're basically wrecking your channel right now, because this is going to be repeated over and over again. You're going to get shown that you had no clue what you're talking about. So I'm just telling you, I would stop talking about that. Look up the things you're saying first.
Don't look up and don't look up things that support what you were taught in school, because that's what.
Well, even he's not talking about anything that's close to being correct. The North Star being at the center and not moving has absolutely zero to do with its distance from Earth. Nothing.
It's because we're tilted and spinning. That's
it's
what
because
they're
we're tilted and the axis of the Earth is pointed at the North Star.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter if it was the closest star or the furthest star. It would still be at that spot and not move. It has nothing to do with its distance.
Mm-mm.
And it's actually on a lower end. It's actually on the
It has everything to do with its distance, because that's how perspective works. It's like if you're standing in front of a tree and you take a step to the right, it looks like the tree. Now you're not looking at the tree anymore. But if you're a great distance away and you take a step to the right, the tree's
parallax.
still right in front of you.
Yeah, parallax, but there is no parallax in the stars. It's not noticeable by the human eye. It's detectable by equipment, but it's not the human eye can't decipher that. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
All right. That was it. That was the big surprise video for all of you, is that we were going to hear Jeranism saying things that are essentially correct. And that's...
I think I now have a confession.
That was the big shocker for the evening.
I'll be going to the doctor to see what I got. I'm not sure yet, but I itch a little.
All right, so now what do you think? Was so we've done a few movie nights on Jeranism's videos, and we've heard his Explain It To Me video that anybody that was interested made an explanatory video and let them know about it, and then that whole topic just disappeared. So we hear what he usually says, and then we hear this, which is really indicates, if not an understanding, at least a knowledge of how, well, I'd say how things really are, because from other people's point of view, it's how we say they are, or how ball earthers say they are. The real question at this point is, with his usual line of, I just have to call it illogic and denial, is that sincere, or does he actually understand what the Earth really is and its position in the solar system and our galaxy and the universe and all that, and it's just for show? What do you guys think? Does he sincerely believe the flat Earth stuff he pitches after seeing this, or is he just knows about this but denies it? What do you guys think?
Charlatans don't like to criticize anything that... I don't think anyone would go this far if they didn't actually believe it.
Yep. I think that he's sold himself his own lie, and he's full on it. I've said before in other conversations that I couldn't, if I tried, keep that persona up. I couldn't be that dumb in real time if I wanted to, and I'm pretty creative. Like, I can get into character and just go to town on it, but I couldn't come up with the dumbass shit that he comes up with in retorts to valid points and reasonings and stuff like that. He comes up with this wild shit that is just like, what? How? And I don't think that's possible unless you honestly believe it.
Okay.
However, I don't think the psychology of it is, his subconscious mind obviously knows that the world is a fucking globe. Every single one of them does, but he's convinced himself. He's sold on his own lie. That's my take on it.
Could be. Could very well be. There's some votes cast in the public chat. It seems, let's see, just looking at what's scrolling by, it seems the consensus is that he knows exactly what the world is, and is just, as a cryogenic vortex says, he's just bullshit. Jism is bullshitting for views and ratings, and that's it. So that's That appears
Well,
to be the
he doesn't-
consensus from the public.
even
there.
even though he's got the view counts and the subscribers, he's probably not pulling any more than $1,000 a month off of YouTube, right? And he spends a lot of time doing this stuff. Yeah, he's always making videos and such. And the guy just lost his house. I mean, he's getting booted because he's a failure. Basically, he's a flat Earth failure, and he's the top dog. He's not getting money to support himself with this flat Earth nonsense. And it's trickling down. It's trickling down into his real life. Yeah, they're either evicted or they got foreclosed on. Both him and his wife. And their kid. They're out. In case you didn't know.
That's
If you're
well.
gonna do some YouTube for views, don't do flat Earth.
What's that?
If you're gonna, can you hear me or am I interpreting?
It's
kind of going
so
in
in
and
and
out.
out. So in and out.
Okay, that's just. If you're gonna do something on YouTube for views and money, do not do a flat Earth thing. Go fucking play Minecraft and sit and just do that. Put it on YouTube. There you go. Instant. There's easier ways to make money.
Yeah, than maintaining this whole front, right? Especially if you don't believe it. I mean, you'd have to constantly be coming up with wild ass stuff. You know, you'd have to think about how good of a lawyer this guy would have been, or something like that. I mean, if he could just weasel his way around and evade so well like that. If he was so adept at that, he could apply himself to something that would make him a steady paycheck that's much more substantial, I think, than being a flat Earth dumbass on YouTube. You know.
Well, in his defense, he does. It's not really in his defense. Other than YouTube, I believe he does have a few other things going on. I mean, he's got the website, and he does. I think he does ads on that.
Yeah, he's got Patreon and all that, but it doesn't make him very much. I was in a conversation recently with people who've been in close conversations with that guy, and of course this is all hearsay, but he doesn't make enough to sustain a reasonable income.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, really, I don't think it's unless you're just ridiculously huge. I don't think going into YouTube to make a living off of it is viable. I mean, you have to. I would think you have to like what you're doing and have to be motivated in some way to do it, and that should be your motivation. If you're going into it to make a living, I don't see how that would work.
Yeah, you kind of just got to get lucky with the whole thing. I mean, PewDiePie probably pulls in like $250,000 a month. No joke.
Mm-hmm.
With his subscriber count and his view count, he's pulling in $500,000 a month, or $250,000 a month. I mean, that's for PewDiePie. I don't even know what the hell is that. I didn't even know what that was, and I was like, oh, it's a dude. What the, But people watch this shit because people are idiots, and idiots sell to the masses. I mean, these conspiracists have a kind of a thing going. I mean, there is a legitimate market for stupid, and that's what's wrong with the world today.
And what's shocking is look at the YouTube videos that are of actual value to just humanity in general. Look, I constantly bring up the same example, and for who I'm actually talking about, is because it's many moons ago. It's kind of how I really started watching YouTube videos on a regular basis, was when I discovered there was something of value. And the example I always use is Aaron Ra. I mean, he doesn't just make videos debunking this, debunking that. He does pure educational videos that in biology, in all kinds of subjects, that, I mean, there's real value in that. If somebody was going to get stinking rich off of YouTube, I don't think any of us would object to. I mean, that's who it should be. I mean, spending time to produce purely educational videos it shouldn't be the PewDiePies or Jeranism or Eric Dubay raking in all kinds of bucks. It should be someone that provides actual value to humanity, wouldn't you think?
Yes, it should be. It very much should be. But that's a woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda kind of thing, you know.
Absolutely, but well, fortunately for him, he's in high demand for speaking engagements, so I don't think we have to worry about Aaron Ra being evicted from anywhere ever. So I think he's good. So all right, well,
he is blessed by the great bowl of spaghetti. So
indeed, the flying spaghetti monster has touched him with his noodly appendage, and not in the creepy way. So
I'm glad you threw that in at the end.
You have to, you know. There's some religions that shall be, some churches, we shall say, that shall be nameless, have sort of a history. I didn't want to imply that. So, all right. Well, that was 3 short vids from Santa Glen, and then that rather shocking video of Jeranism actually stating, well, no other word for it, reality. That wasn't too bad for an hour and 14. Now, the next thing I have queued up, which assuming everybody would like to continue.
There's another one. Oh no.
Oh yeah. This one I haven't previewed. This is from what is it, Odd TV, I think, where we should hear some interesting assertions. So everybody, we've had kind of an easy ride so far because the first 3 with the simple, irrefutable proofs were just, I mean, if we were going to yell drink, we might as well have just yelled drink with an open paren and then said the closed parenthesis at the end because all of them were silly. This should be at least a string of assertions that we can actually do some work and object to one at a time. So everybody be prepared to yell drink as needed. And I actually didn't get the answer. Shall we proceed, or have you had enough for one night? You guys call it. I just clicked the buttons.
Let there be cake.
Let me cake.
I seriously doubt that guy's done with his maple syrup, so let's go.
All right. Oh, it's not him again. This is Odd TV. Completely different animal.
Odd TV, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to hear why the Earth is flat, and it's about atmospheric lensing effect, which, I mean, it happens, so, okay. Let's see how he applies it to, All right, here we go.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
The findings, okay. Let's hear what the findings are.
I went to a few websites. I just did a Google how much water is in the atmosphere, you know. And this is the USGS website, usgs.gov, Science for a Changing World. The USGS Water Science School talks about there is always water in the atmosphere. Clouds are, of course, the most visible manifestation of atmospheric water. But even clean air contains water in particles that are too small to be seen. One estimate of the volume of water in the atmosphere at any one time is about 3,100 cubic miles, or 12,900 cubic kilometers. And it goes on to say that if all the water that's in the atmosphere were to rain down at once, it would cover the globe to a depth of about 1 inch. And this is confirmed on a number of websites, but I'll just show you one more just for the sake of argument here. This is the Y Files, the science behind the news. They have an article, How Much Water is in the Atmosphere. It says, at any moment, the atmosphere contains an astounding 37.5 million billion gallons of water in the invisible vapor phase. This is enough water to cover the entire Earth, land and ocean, with 1 inch of rain. And, of course, goes on to talk about that as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of water in the atmosphere. I think we all kind of just know that, but I don't think we've ever really thought about what that means. If the atmosphere, especially over water, is made up of zillions and zillions of tiny convex drops of water, then collectively, perhaps they all combine to make one big convex lens, in which case it would act like a magnifying glass. check
Based off
this
drink.
image out right here.
Oh,
Now, I caught this.
There was somebody called Drink Mason.
Yeah, drink. He
Okay.
keeps changing his unit of measurement. It's never consistent.
I got stuck at zillions, but okay.
He goes from he changes from 9 zeros between each one.
All right. So okay, so
It's not the same.
So he's got.
If I could just drop some actual information. I don't think it's quite maybe not relevant to his actual convexing of the atmosphere and stuff like that, which is very well understood by scientists to know what the hell they're talking about. But
Yes.
the water that he's talking about in the atmosphere alone is so very little of the water content that the Earth holds as a whole. The atmosphere is 3% of 1.2% of 2.5% of the total amount of water here on Earth. If anybody wants to bust out the math on that.
Okay.
It falls into the freshwater category, which is 2.5% of all water on Earth. And then it falls into 1.2 of surface water and other freshwater percent of that. And it's only 3% of the 1.2% of the 2.5% of the total amount of water on the globe right now.
Well, excellent, and good job. I didn't even have to ask the question. I was going to ask why you had broken it up into the fraction of a fraction of a fraction. You answered the question before I even asked it. Excellent. Thank you. Well done. 100 net points awarded.
Gracias.
Image shortly after Rick and I returned from our trip across the lake. We grabbed a bite to eat, and then we went out to the beach, and it was still clear out, so we got the camera out and looked 46 miles across the lake to see this right here. This image is extraordinary. Okay, the boat right here, I'm going to guess, is less than a mile away. And I base that because these people walking in front of the camera here are walking across some rocks that sort of jut out and kind of fence in the harbor area. And they are only about a quarter of a mile away from where we were when I shot this. I shot this image from right about here. This is where we were looking across, and this is the area right here where those people were walking. And the boat, as you could tell by the size of the people on the boat, wasn't too much further beyond that. So maybe a half mile to a mile at the most, I would say, away.
You're running out of
from
map there,
where
buddy.
we were. Alright, now when I was headed back to Chicago to catch my flight, I snapped this picture of the Willis Tower.
Okay.
And this is, if you go on Google Earth, this is right about the area right here where I believe I was when I took that picture. Looking across, it's only about 0.6 of a mile. So I'm just a little over a half mile away, and look at the size of the tower as compared to the car that was diagonally in front of me. We were looking at the Willis Tower from this direction right here when we were on the other side of the lake. Now, okay, so let me slide the car over and shrink it down to the appropriate scale beside the boat. Do you see something rather interesting here? This building is
that's not the appropriate
significantly
size of the scale.
magnified. The image on the left shows the size and scale of the building next to a car at 0.6 of a mile away. The image on the right
That is
shows
Give me a
the
break.
same
That
building
is-
and the same car with a boat at 46 miles away. The atmosphere really is acting like a lens. What type of lens? A convex lens or a magnifying glass. So I'm going to suggest this is what's happening. The atmosphere is acting like a lens, which magnifies the city, brings it up a little closer, and as it does so, we start to lose a little bit of the bottom of the buildings.
No. That's a minor Drake. That's a minor Drake moment. If it was merely a question of magnifying you would magnify the entire scene all the way to the bottom that you would see with cars going by and people walking and all that crap. You wouldn't just magnify your object of interest and therefore have it sink below. A valid drink moment, I think. Okay, moving on. Oh, anybody else have anything? All right, here we go.
And perhaps due to the density in the atmosphere, there's additional refraction that takes place that makes it drop down even more. Is that what happened?
No.
Let's look at it from another angle here, from the side view. I'll bring our graphic back in of refraction. Let's go ahead and orient the graphic so it better represents what we're looking at here. I'll angle the light rays to show the density of the air here causing the refraction, and bring our lens in so we can magnify the city. It brings the city up, and as it does so, we start to lose a little bit of the bottom of the city, and perhaps either due to the magnification or due to additional refraction, maybe it is dropped down a little bit more.
Okay, wait, let's back this up a
That
little
is
bit.
such a bad model. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
it's a bad model for a couple of reasons. And again, you guys are smarter than me. How come nobody will drink yet? Okay, first off, he's wrong. Just magnifying would magnify the entire thing. Secondly, he's put up the picture that pretty much demonstrates one of the reasons why his magnification thing is crap. Is you notice he shows the bending of light. This is the everybody's seen this drawing where light comes in a linear fashion, and the bending occurs, at the surface of the water, so it appears to be a bent path, even though it's a straight path. The light is bent down, and that turn, where it occurs, is at in this case we'll just say a difference in density. What it really is a difference in the index of refraction. You have to go from an area of one index of refraction to another area with a different index of refraction to see any bending whatsoever. If he's saying that this, which is it's a standard, appears to be a uniform height above the water, the amount of water dispersed in the air should be a constant, unless there are temperature variants and things of that sort. But if they're not, the light between these is not going from an area of one density to an area of another, or an area of one index of refraction to an area of another. So the bending he's talking about would not occur. End of rant. Anything else? Anybody? Or correct me.
He's not dealing with a flat Earth theory. He's dealing with a flat city theory.
Yeah, and not just about him. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I think of this picture.
Have you guys seen the Dr. Zach video where he did the laser experiment across the lake?
Yeah.
Wasn't that awesome? That refraction that bent the laser upwards towards the end of the lake. I don't know if this is helping or hurting the flat Earth cause right now, but that was actual surface level refraction in play. It was pretty cool looking.
Indeed, yeah.
Actually, I saw an experiment that you can do.
Oh.
This was put out by legitimate scientists and having nothing to do with the flat Earth or any of the other bullshit. But if you had, like, say, a fish tank or something like that, and you poured a bunch of sugar in it, right? With the water's cold. You don't stir it up or nothing. You just let the sugar sit and dissolve for maybe 24 hours or so. And then he shone a laser pointer into it, and you can watch for yourself the refraction taking place right before your eyes. It bends the laser. I mean, that's cool.
Indeed, and that
right in the fish tank, right in front of your eyes. Just with the difference in I'm not sure what you call it, the solutes or something within the water.
Yeah, for a period of time you would have until osmosis takes effect, you would have an area of different density, which would give different levels of different index of refraction, different levels of refraction, which would give you the bending. So, yeah, and that is something anybody can do, but that'll leave people with a lot of confusion because upon seeing that, they might be more willing to accept this foolishness that we're watching now. So,
true, but are we really talking to feetards here, or are we talking to actual sensible people?
we're addressing the sensible people who would benefit from seeing such an experiment and would understand what it is. So I agree. Excellent bringing it up. So, okay. But this dude's just wrong.
Can I just state that I think the difference in production values from the beginning of this video and the end of this video is enough to cause light refraction.
Possibly, you may be correct.
Could very well be. All right. 100 net points awarded all around for that one. Moving on.
Due to the magnification or due to additional refraction, maybe it is dropped down a little bit more, and this is what we end up with. Huh. Just like we saw. Now this is a still frame from the half-hour video that I did, and the numbers you see there are all based on the numbers that Tony was giving me based on his device. His device said it was 37 nautical miles, which is 42.6 statute miles, but when you plot the same exact location that we were at, the exact distance you get on Google Earth is 46 miles. So you basically add about 4 miles to all the numbers that you saw in the half-hour video. But I'm beginning to think if that is indeed the science, and let's just go back and hear from the experts once again, what's happening with the atmosphere.
The science is the same of that of a lens. Here's a simple example.
So if you're looking at Chicago here, just maybe now you can just see the top of the Sears Tower, and if our simulated temperature inversion moves into place, hopefully now you can see pretty much all of Chicago,
see all the lower buildings,
including what's at ground level.
So the atmosphere really is acting like a lens.
Okay, point of order. An inversion, a temperature inversion, where you end up with a layer of warm air trapped below the layer of cold air, is an anomaly. That's not the standard. That's not the common event you would expect. That would be the anomaly.
Correct. Otherwise, we'd be seeing it every day, right?
Yeah, indeed. And that's actually, inversions like that are really handy for communications as well. You can use what is supposed to be line of sight communications, like in the VHF range, and it will, with such an inversion, especially if it's a double, radio frequency communication actually bounces through it in much the same way that light does through a fiber optic cable. And you can use line of sight communications to talk to or transmit an image to somebody several hundred miles away, which ordinarily would not be possible. That's why we look for it.
I've actually done that. I've actually gone on top of a mountain and done that.
How did you know that those conditions were present in order for you to be able to conduct such a thing?
I didn't have a damn clue. I just went on top of a mountain with a Yagi antenna, and oh hey, there's Wi-Fi 50 miles away.
Well, I mean, if you got enough power going to your antenna, right? You got a boosted signal, and you've got line of sight. Did that have anything to do with the refraction?
The curve of the Earth actually eventually became a problem, but I got around that pretty quickly.
The closer you get to the frequency of light, and because it's EM radiation just like radio waves, the closer you get to that, the less bending will actually occur. With the lower frequencies, they're not considered line of sight because they'll basically go with the curvature of the Earth for quite a distance. But the closer you get and higher in frequency you go, the more that effect does not happen anymore. And the only way you can get the long distance and the Wi-Fi signal is getting in that range. It's getting in the higher frequencies that is more likely to just pierce the atmosphere, continue through the ionosphere, and off into space in a nearly direct, what they would call a line of sight. But if you are lucky enough to end up with what's called tropospheric ducting, you can actually communicate via RF for hundreds of miles. But and Mason climbed the mountain. Nice.
Yeah, my limit was like 300. That was about as far as I could push it.
That's all right. And and the funny thing is, the amount of power is irrelevant when you're dealing with line of sight communications, because other than scatter, it doesn't matter how much power you pour in. It's all going in the same direction and continuing off into space pretty much. So, anyway. Alrighty. Alright, let's let him babble on some more.
Yes.
So the atmosphere really is acting like a lens, according to the experts. Now, you guys don't need to go out.
Yes, under those circumstances, it's acting like a lens. Agreed.
Spend tens of thousands of dollars to get that pretty piece of paper to hang up on the I Love Me wall and put letters after your name so that you can call yourself an expert. You can be an expert with what you see here on the screen. Yep, believe it or not. Go to Walmart, and your advanced degree in atmospheric lensing technology will cost you just a couple dollars. You can get a 2x power lens for about $1.85, I think, at Walmart. Get yourself some Scotch tape. Then if you look in the description below, you'll see I put a PNG file of a city. You can print that up, cut it out so it looks something like this, what you see on the screen here. Then find a table and a chair. And okay, you're going to bend the paper so it looks something like this. Tape the lens to the table, get a chair that's about the same height as the edge of the table. Put your iPhone on the end of the chair, and the chair will act as a dolly, so you can just kind of pull the chair back. And looky here. Look what happens with atmospheric lensing.
Drink.
Drink.
And again.
At least he doesn't use Scotch tape.
All right.
Or at least he doesn't use honey. He uses Scotch tape.
Yes. He didn't stick the paper to the wall with honey. I don't know what's up with the lawyer, mathematician, nuclear physicist in the first three vids. But
for starters, I think we should allow Sai since he called the drink first.
Yes, continue the drink.
All right. In this case, a drink. In this case, he's not the reason the bottom of the building is disappearing has nothing to do with the magnification factor. It is my belief that he's dropping below the level of the edge of the table.
Sneaky
dude. All right, moving on.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
No. We got more. Notice how the city focuses in on quite fewer buildings that were in that picture. That doesn't happen in real life.
Indeed. Plus, in his example, if he's talking about atmospheric lensing, it's effectively acting as a single lens, much like he has built in his model here, which we'll have to give him points for accuracy. One lens. What's the problem with one lens is you have to be at the focal length of that lens to be able to see any image that doesn't look like a big poofy cotton ball. So the conditions that would deliver the results he is saying would be extremely rare. You would have to be at exactly what the focal length of this atmospheric lensing would be in order to see what he says we would see, which makes it even more rare than a atmospheric inversion, a temperature inversion. Okay.
Wait, one more.
What do we got?
Did you notice how he mentioned just draw your iPhone back there? You think he's shilling for Apple?
Oh my! It is entirely possible.
Flat Earth theorists are all just one big Apple campaign.
I wouldn't put it past the fuckers.
It could very well be that, because this experiment doesn't work with Android.
The rabbit hole goes deep, my friends. The rabbit hole goes deep.
Indeed. And there shall be no Nokia experiments. All right, here we go. Not much more. So I mean, the pain, you've almost suffered through the pain.
Wow, isn't that amazing? And you didn't have to go to college either. Now you can get in a boat and drive to Chicago, and wow, look at that. Now let's compare. See, look at this. This is how much of the city was lost simply due to atmospheric lensing. Now remember,
and ducking below the edge of the table.
Experts, the guys that spent tens of thousands of dollars to get advanced degrees in this stuff so that people would recognize that they're smart, they told you the science really is that of a lens.
Under rare conditions. You forgot to add that. Did you quote mine yourself and forget to add the rest of the sentence? That under
Of
rare
course he
conditions? You can't quote mine yourself. That's just breaking the rules. You can only quote mine other people's stuff.
Now, of course, the first time I posted something like this on YouTube, the Baltards came out from
Baltard.
under a
Baltards!
rock.
We've got a new word. We've got a new... Okay.
Wait.
That's 2 words added to our vocabulary. Curvizon and now Baltard. Wait a minute. Wasn't he one of the bad guys in the original Battlestar Galactica? Okay, nobody's seen that. Moving on.
Baltard sounds like a fun game you'd play in like a high school freshman PE class.
Yeah, I think that's just when you kick a foursquare ball into each other's face.
Maybe so.
On this plane to make fun of me and say I didn't know what I was talking about with refraction. That's not how it works, and blah blah blah. And they looked at the image on the lower right here of the magnifying glass showing the city and how it was all wavy and distorted. And they said, "Well, look, your magnifying glass made everything distorted, and Joshua Nowicki's picture was straight up and down. You're an idiot." Blah blah blah. So,
okay, did any of us say blah blah blah? I don't remember saying blah blah blah. I remember. I remember.
That's how I
was thinking he was an idiot, but there was no blah 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 attached to the end of it. It just he's an idiot.
Is it just me, or does this guy sound like Mr. Bean?
No, Mr. Bean was much funnier with far fewer words, but that's how I always explain scientific stuff. You know, when I'm explaining scientific stuff, I'm like, it happens because of all the cool scientism. If you just read your science Bible and blah blah blah.
There you go. See, you saying that, I'm convinced.
Because I said it. It's true.
Alleviate the problem of distorting the edges because the magnifying.
Okay, you could actually see it there. This other area that's not behind the magnifying glass also decreased, and not in proportion to how far he was backing up.
And it's still below the table. Come on!
Ring is too small. I went on Amazon and I got these plastic magnifying sheets and came up with another way of doing the same.
AKA Fresnel lenses.
Same thing. Using the sheet right here. Set the city up, a little cutout of the city, and now I've got the big magnifying glass sheet. Bring the camera right up to the lens. See, that's the normal view of the city. Now let's back up again.
The science is the same of that of a lens. Here's a simple example.
So if you're looking at Chicago here,
The atmosphere really is acting like a lens.
Okay, what's going on here? Are we seeing we're not seeing the bottoms disappear. What's he trying to tell us here? Anybody?
Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Let it play.
All right, here we go.
yes.
Atmosphere really is acting like a lens, and this is how much of the city is missing due to the lensing effect, the magnification of the atmosphere. You're missing a good portion of the city.
Oh, I get it. If this is a picture he put down, then all right, yeah, this is what you would see. Why? Because look, we're looking at it from the level of the table. Fresnel lens works a lot like a regular lens, except it's flat, and we're not looking at it from the center. We're looking at it from below that. So yes, the effect he's talking about would occur, but not for the reasons he's saying they would occur.
Just by pulling my iPhone back on a 3-foot long desk, that's how much I lost. You've probably seen the meme being passed around on Facebook and everything, showing the lower portion of one of the tall buildings there in Toronto being missing, and they're saying, "See, this is proof of the globe." And you start seeing video.
Halted.
Okay, first of all, this is a misrepresentation. Notice how his little picture that he inserted there, via Photoshop or whatever, is quite a bit bigger than the actual one, right?
That is true, and this actually demonstrates the opposite.
Curvature.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of what he's trying to say, because we are missing the bottom.
Yeah, they do that. I love it when they debunk themselves.
Yeah.
Don't even realize it.
And the only reason his table thing was not an analog of this is because if we were to drop to the level that he did with the table, we would have to back away underwater. Now,
yeah, underwater, good point, yeah.
Yeah, there is one part about this that is that is correct. is that some of what we lose some of what we lose in the bottom is not exclusively due to the curvature. There will be a layer just above the water that, just because if there's a temperature differential between the air and the water temperature, you'll get that kind of inversion in a narrow layer above the water, and you may lose a small fraction.
Yes.
Not as much as is even being shown here. So
does not quite account for half the freaking building.
No,
being seen.
Generally wouldn't. And this, yeah, all right. Okay, moving on.
Also basing an argument on Facebook, not a good idea.
Didn't hear that. I started the film again. Say it again, please.
Basing an argument on Facebook is not a good idea.
Generally
Deciding
not.
it in any situation is not.
Agreed.
Another way to demonstrate the curve is with distant city skylines.
Okay.
A good example is the city of Toronto, viewed from across Lake Ontario. The city is dominated by the distinctive CN Tower, currently the third tallest tower in the world at 1,815 feet. There are many pictures online of the Toronto skyline, viewed from Niagara-on-the-Lake, New York, 30 miles away.
Okay.
With the Metabunk calculation, we see that 486 feet of the tower, or about 26% of it, should be hidden behind the curve of the Earth from that distance. And this is exactly what we see, as you can easily tell when compared to an image of the full tower at the...
Okay, so what's he saying? What the hell is he saying there? Is he saying, I mean...
Did he just debunk himself again?
I'm guessing. I was waiting to call bullshit, or I mean drink, but no, what the hell's he doing saying something true? Has he been talking to Jeranism?
Maybe.
Wait,
is he schizophrenic?
He's not done with
Possibly.
He may not be done with the paragraph. He may screw it up in the next couple of words. Let's give him a chance. We don't want to think he's gotten all normal on us.
The same
scale. Well, I bet that website that he just used is ran by the government and the Illuminati.
Yes. As is the CCD element in the camera used, and in all telescopes.
Let's try it again.
And in the video he's uploading right now, so
Yeah.
he himself cannot be trusted.
So it would seem. Now wait a minute, we've moved on to something different. So I guess he did just debunk himself, and then moved on to something different. What the hell would he do that for? All right, whatever. Apparently they call drink too, but they do it silently and when they're alone.
Way up against the glass. Now let's zoom across the lake. And wow, look at that. The lower portions start to disappear. Now let's zoom back in, get a little closer.
And why don't we try elevating the camera to the central point of the Fresnel lens so that we actually see magnification of everything that's on the other side of it, instead of viewing from a lower angle to produce the desired effect. How about that? How about some honesty?
The one that Captain Baltard was talking about here. And wow, look at this. Here's his image on the right, and here's my image on the left. Missing the lower portions of the city had nothing to do with curvature whatsoever. I've got my magnifying sheet frame, and I created a little stand to paste the sun on it and keep it the same height over the flat surface of a table. So the sun is always going to be parallel with the surface. And
how can a point be parallel with something? Oh, well, all right.
Check this out. All right. Here's
Ask a flat
the first
earther.
test of a sun moving over a flat surface. And with no atmospheric magnification, it does what we might expect it would. It gets
show us
smaller
half.
as it goes
Show
away
us
from
half.
us. All right. Now, let's see what happens when we add in our atmospheric magnification. Again, water and refraction. Water causes magnification and refraction, right? So let's bring the sun back. Oh, check this out. Refraction bends the light downward. It made the sun set on a parallel surface as it was moving parallel.
I didn't see that.
Not yet. Maybe he'll back up a little more. If he keeps backing up, it is going to produce the effect that he's trying for. It definitely will. But having that set up, see, if he continues to back up along the same height that he has the camera right now, this will drop below this black line, and we will see half the sun, just like the flat earthers want us to see.
Let me see that.
However, I don't know if he's going to do it. If he's smart, he will. But if he's doing this experiment, he has to know that if he raised his camera to the actual center of the Fresnel lens, and you can tell where it is because it's a series of concentric circles around a central point on a flat sheet of plastic. He knows where it is. He has to be aware that his point of view, his perspective, is shooting through the lower portion of that. So as the entire image is magnified, it is going to produce this effect. So that is pretty much dishonesty in action. You saw it here first.
Well, the same height, the whole way over a flat surface, the refraction caused the sun to set.
Right.
Not only that, well, let's bring in the beginning of that little test, and we see that it maintained pretty much the same size too. Pretty close. And of course that's because as it's moving away, the magnification is still taking place, and so even though the sun's further away than it was in the beginning of the test, the magnification basically preserved the same size, and the refraction made it set.
He didn't do it. Oh, maybe he's going to do it now. Now you'll see the half a sun. There you go. See, this is what I was talking about.
I still don't get it. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Oh, well, which part? Which the if you look through a Fresnel lens and you are not you're not in line with the center of it, it is going to magnify the image, but you're going to be seeing. Let's see how to best describe it.
So does he actually? Is that actually in real life not behind the horizon of that little landscape thing he's got there?
It would actually, the way this is drawn, or shown.
Is it still above it, or has it gone?
This would have to. Here's how
time?
it is. Here's how it is. Looking at this image, this is the only way this could be. Is that this image of the scenery is in front of the lens, and the image of the sun is behind the lens. If you were to look at it from the side, the image of the sun would still be above the level of this landscape that he has that is in front of the lens. Your backing up does not change the magnification or the position of anything that's closer to you than the lens. You'll just see it, the more you back up a little bit smaller.
Okay.
But since the lens is, the farther you back up, the more it magnifies the image, and you're looking at it from off-center, as the image is magnified, it appears to move. And that's why it's showing up behind the image that is closer to, that is on the viewer's side of the lens. It doesn't move, it is not magnified because it's in front of the lens. What's behind it is magnified off-center, so it appears to move and drops below the picture that's stuck to the front.
Okay, I kind of get what you're saying right here, but he's
I think I can
debunk himself
I think I
again
can
because he's not. He's showing the sunset from a specific observational point here. Like anybody else, say, a few miles behind the guy is not going to, because it's a Fresnel lens or Fresnel or however the hell you want to.
Yeah, I think it's. I used to always say Fresnel. I've heard it say Fresnel, and
okay.
I think that's it.
We should ask Tao Alpha-Seti because that guy knows his French. But so if you were to back up a little bit, wouldn't the sun be bigger?
Should
or
be.
It's in front of the lens. So this whole thing is very confusing, even to a globetard like me.
I believe that's the intent, and what makes it really nefarious is that if you produce this model on a table in your own house, I find it incomprehensible that after, let's just say after, let's say while looking at your iPhone,
Yeah.
and you're making after you're done making this part of the video, I find it hard to believe that you wouldn't stand up and notice that when you are coaxial, when you are in line with the center of the lens, you will see the effect of magnification as it's backed up. It may remain the same size even though it's getting farther away, but this effect will not be achieved. If you were to stand up after you're done fiddling with the phone, you would know that everything you just produced was bullshit.
True, and I'm going to consult my little globe of foreseeing and say that he's not going to do that in this video because flatties often, I mean, their whole game is omission of simple observations, you know.
There's that, and there's another pattern I've noticed that he did in this one too, which is truth, absolutely fictitious conclusion. If you throw enough truth at people that they go and check, they're more likely to accept the bullshit you throw at them at the end. And that was we saw that occur in this one as well. But
same thing with Trump, but yeah.
I think it's out of pronunciation, not robot.
Okay, somebody's gonna have to relay for Perry again. You're roboted. Anybody?
Okay. I think I can diagram this without any type of thing, so it can be a little. I think I understand what you're saying. I have a paper here and a pen, and an Android camera. Sorry, it's not going to be quite up to par, but I think I can diagram this.
Okay.
Here, let's see. Switch the camera. Now.
Is that a poppy seed?
See. Well, if you zoom in on the dot, keep that in the center. The lower dot goes out creating the hole in the center. I think that would be determined.
Is that a tick?
There you go. No. There's a goddamn pit.
All right.
I suggest putting your phone into your throat. Maybe that'll help speak.
It's got to be the.
Here we go. Here.
All right,
Bigger
all
circle.
right.
Let's go here.
Keep the microphone close to your mouth.
Debunked. You gotta fight their logic with their own logic.
That they have no logic. You need to fight non-logic with non-logic.
All right, we got.
Well, that's what I just damn did.
Well, we couldn't tell because you got ticks running around on a piece of paper or something.
Well, from the illustration, I got what he was saying, and that is essentially it. Without actual movement, things will leave your field of view if you are not not focused. If you're focused on one and you magnify, you will lose the other. Same as shown in this video. I did not, however, hear one word he said, which is unfortunate because I'm sure that would have made it clear. But
I apologize for not being close enough to my mic.
Not at all. We're gonna. I think we did get it though, right? That was the point.
This has been pen and paper diagram, Perry.
I totally got it.
All right.
If you do it on a pizza box, though, it makes much more sense to flat earthers.
Oh yeah, because we are on a pizza box planet.
I do it with like Photoshop or something, but I don't have my computer. Okay, whatever. Move on.
All right, moving it. Hey, and the good news is we've got 30 seconds left. Woo! So we have just blown through this.
Full steam ahead, baby.
All right. What are you showing us now, and how does it apply?
Oh my God! Look at that. That's all CGI.
Where's the stars?
No, seriously. No, it is though. He flattened that image out. You know that's possible, right?
Well, wait. Do we need to go back? What was your indication that was flattened? I assumed it was just a small section.
No, that looks fucking flat to me, and it looks photoshopped. Or I guess that's the colloquialism. I don't see any curvature there, and you should, at that distance, see some curvature there. That looks, and I didn't see any movement, that we'd normally get from any Fresnel, however the hell you pronounce it.
So you're saying over? I'm throwing it. Nobody can see this, but I'm throwing a straight edge up to the screen.
Do it. Watch.
Right.
It almost looks concave to me. Maybe the fucking Lord Stephen Christ is right.
You are not far from right on with that. This is actually showing a bit of a dip in the middle.
Yep. That's because he doctored the image. Come on!
Wait, no, it's hard to get over the haze.
You said it's hard.
Oh. All right.
Hold on, I got this. Got a pin, got a camera. Straight edge.
You get them ticks off your balls.
Oh my.
Here we go. Let's go. Look at that. Nice concave pin you got right there. There you go.
Okay.
End of story.
That was just as useful as an odd TV.
That's the goal.
All right. Should I go get a wet tomato like Russian vids?
Hold on, I got a model plane around here somewhere.
Well, it's okay.
Show it upside down on a
and stick a Lego man to the top.
How do you show a plane on a plane? That's what I want to know.
Not entirely sure.
It's not hard. You just land the plane in the plane.
You said it's not hard.
Oh, okay. You said hard, Beavis. All right. Okay.
Wow, the maturity levels are okay then.
Okay, now, admittedly, there have not been as many drink moments as in previous videos. You know, the ones where we became incomprehensible near the end because our slurring of the language was just beyond understanding. But there's been a significant amount of drink moments. And we are all suffering from the effect of the amount of stupid that's been thrown at us. So let's keep that in mind as well. And let's let this run out. Here we go. All right, there we go. Okay,
and that's the end.
That's the end. That's it. I'm not sure how that Rockin' Earth had a lot to do with the rest of what he was saying, but I guess it was just okay. Here's everything I said so far, and see, it's flat. There you go.
Yeah, believe it because I said so.
Didn't say a whole lot about where that image was taken from, because that would take a little. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. So, look, this image taken from space proves the image is of a flat Earth where there is no space.
Of course it does.
Of course! I have to say that because Dev is not here.
Yeah, where the fuck is Dev, man? I hope he didn't.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned. He rarely misses a movie night. Maybe, I don't know. Disturbing. Well, he'll definitely catch the next one. Which is just over the Curvizon. Right.
It's just over the Curvizon, yeah.
All right. Does
anybody have a problem with me writing a new theme song for this show?
No. The theme song, like for the opening, no, that's fine. But I'm really rather fond of the clothing, the closing theme.
Falling into the clothing.
Yes, I'm fond of my clothing.
It takes a ninja to do that. Have you ever seen the videos of guys like doing backflips into a pair of jeans? That shit's pretty cool. You're like that? You're awesome, Si.
Okay, I was about to say no, I've never done that, but after that, how can I? All right. A theme song for the beginning, sure, that would be cool. But I was saying that for our end credits, I am rather fond of that song for some reason.
Okay,
but
so
For the opening, absolutely.
All right, then.
So, all right, does anybody have any more comments, criticisms, curiosities about the series of abominations I've subjected you to?
Yes, thank you for my current loss of glial cells out of leaking from my earlobes right now. Luckily, I have full ear cups on my headphones, and it's all contained within. It's getting a little cold, and it feels a little bit like oatmeal, but...
Maybe if you alternately tip your head from side to side, everything will go back where it's supposed to be.
Let me try. Oh, that was
Put your
not
head
good.
for a convex lid. That'll probably smooth it all out.
That'll do all you need.
It all depends on your perspective, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. I would agree. All right. I don't know. Let's see. Is there anything... in the public chat, is there anything... Oh, wait. We're back to the ticks.
No, 5 from Ticktown. 5 from Ticktown. That's all you need to know.
Good enough. All right. Well, very good. Does anyone have any commentary, anything you'd like to add to that foolishness, or shall we bring on the pug?
Well, hang on.
Okay.
I got one guy who is in the outside chat. I'm watching it as it scrolls by. Dying Paradise. We do the same show at the same time every week. And you said you're late every time, like it happens at some wacky time, like we just show up like ninjas. It doesn't. We're here, same bat time, same bat channel.
Maybe we've been going
here on time.
Maybe we've been going. You know, he's right about one thing. Is we might go a little. Although we start a few minutes before the start time, just so we could start on time. Maybe we're overly careful with the audio checks, because earlier on, and even a couple of weeks ago, we had some audio problems where there was a different audio level in the Hangout session versus what was being broadcast live. Perhaps we're a little too careful and waste too much time going through all the audio checks before we start. We could make sure we're a little more diligent. By we I mean I. Make sure I get any of the checks we need to do before we broadcast. I'll go through them a little quicker. So he's correct, because we start at midnight, but it has been midnight plus 5, midnight plus 7, midnight plus 10, and mainly because I didn't want to put out crappy audio and have people not be able to hear stuff or have the levels all over the map. So we'll definitely do that. Let's see what else we got in the public.
True, and you know, one thing towards that defense. There is no scientific proof of instantaneous awesome. You know what I'm saying? So it's a work in progress. You know?
Indeed. It grows, it improves. And let's see, what else? Factard. Factard wants to join the chat next week. Okay. Easiest way, message me on G+, the SciStrike. You can find me real easy. Or on Twitter. On Twitter, the Twitter handle is, believe it or not, WooDebunker, WOO_debunker. You can message me on either one of those, and we'll make sure you get an invite for next time. Anybody else that would like to be included in the in the panel, by all means, do the same thing, and we'll make sure to include you.
Just know you gotta get through me before you get to the chat. So.
And there are no restrictions, by the way. Someone who is you don't have to be firmly in love.
Drink.
You don't have to be.
Hang on.
Okay.
That's total bullshit, Si. We're not letting YouTube or fucking Pete Shea up in this chat. So.
You should. All right. I was thinking, what's the harm? Let somebody in that could present the other side of this obviously balanced equation. Because
I'll reach out to Ken Ham. We can get him.
Holy fuck! I just had a moment of.
I'm not sure if we could get.
That's crazy.
I'm not sure if we could get Ham. Ham's a pretty
serious.
busy guy.
Weird.
Oh, really? I don't know if we could get Ham because he's very busy. What with acquiring unconstitutional funding and all that. That takes a fair amount of time. Maybe we can get Eric Hovind to join us or something. But anyway, point being, anybody that wants to join, just contact me. I'll make sure you get an invite next time. We have the room, and like that.
No, you gotta be okay with drinking maple syrup, and I'll ref you.
Yeah. If you can't drink alcohol, drink some random goddamn thing in your fridge.
Yeah, really. It doesn't. We do not avoid people who avoid alcohol. You just have to have some beverage because it is unethical to call drink if you have nothing to drink.
Yep. And a smidgen of tolerance would probably be helpful.
Wait a minute.
It's not
I
that
can't
it's not
join
that I
next
wouldn't
week?
drink alcohol. It's that I don't have any on me.
Wait, tolerance? You're saying so I can't join next week? I have zero tolerance for stupid. So I'm out, you're saying.
It's over. This is the last one.
You got me there.
Damn it. Jesus, I had fun doing these.
They're going so well.
All right, tell you what, I'll try and be tolerant of the stupid. Is trying to be tolerant good enough?
Don't do that. You'll get yourself nowhere.
You're probably right. All right. Let's see. Any other comments? Anything? Or is it time to bring on the pug?
I just like to push the meme that Feetards been sucking my ball Earth since 2015. Recognize.
Okay. Very good indeed.
After that display, I mean...
Alrighty.
Let the pug roll.
Let the pug roll.
Yeah,
pug time.
Look at that face.
Look at it and know God's love.
That pug is staring straight into your soul and thinking about food.
They say all bugs go to heaven, but I'm pretty sure it's just bugs.
I've heard that. Thanks all. Have a good night.